This is Grizzly Gaz, a camping YouTuber from the UK, known for wandering deep into the wilderness with his loyal French bulldog, Fendi. His channel is full of brutal weather, remote forests, and the kind of wildlife encounters most people only watch from a safe distance. But in April of 2023, during what was supposed to be a simple camping trip in the UK woods, Gaz stumbled into something far stranger than anything with fur or claws. The day started off normally. Gaz filmed himself setting up camp, pitching the tent, gathering wood, and settling in as the forest grew darker. By sunset, he had a fire crackling and a steak sizzling with Fendi curled up beside him. It looked like a peaceful night. Then the footage jumps, and what happened next was never filmed. Out of the darkness, a man suddenly appeared. Jeans, a coat, dirt-smudged face, and an expression that made Gaz's stomach tighten.
Goodbye. Pot boiling for some mash. And I've got a visitor. Creeped up behind me asking me if I had a light. I shit my pants. This is Martin anyway. I don't know him, but he's stopping for a steak, so...
Just some random creep wandering about.
You went round here in a poncho a couple of months ago, were you?
I don't think I was. I could have been.
He asked for food and something to drink. His voice slurred, his thoughts scattered, his movements clumsy. Like he wasn't fully present in his own body. Gaz later explained that the man introduced himself as Martin. They sat by the fire as Martin rambled through pieces of his life. He was homeless, drugs had ruined him, and he'd been wandering the woods with no destination. But the strangest part wasn't the story.
Firewood up. So I cut a couple of logs up, and when I turned back round, he'd gone. I just found that rare.
It was how he left. There was no thank you, no goodbye, no footsteps fading into the dark. One moment Martin was there, the next he was simply gone. The encounter ended without violence, but it left Gaz deeply unsettled. He couldn't shake the fear that Martin might return later. And not alone. Out here, far from anyone, Gaz was surrounded by expensive gear and thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment. One wrong person could see him as the perfect target. So, Gaz made a decision. He packed up early and left the woods. But before heading out, he strapped a trail camera to a tree, just in case Martin came back.
I'm on my way back to the camp to collect my trail camera and see if that random smackhead came back during the night.
The next morning, Gaz returned to check the footage. But the most disturbing detail wasn't what the trail camera captured. It was that the trail camera was gone.
That's where it was, on this tree. So my gut instincts were right, weren't they, to leave.
Someone had taken it, and suddenly Martin's silent disappearance wasn't the scariest part of the trip anymore. What's up, Silent Nightmare family? I have something huge to share with you today. If we hit 100,000 subscribers, 10 lucky subscribers will each receive a $50 gift card. You can choose any gift cards. That's $500 in total prizes as a thank you to this amazing community. It's super easy to enter. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video. Comment below with your favorite Silent Nightmare video or your scariest camping story. That's it. Let's hit 100K together and celebrate the only way we know how, with a massive giveaway. Sam runs a YouTube channel called The Northwest Wind out of Cleveland, Ohio. Since 2016, he's been documenting his stealth camping adventures, parking his camper wherever he can get away with it, whether that's a quiet neighborhood or miles from anything resembling civilization. In January 2024, he uploaded footage from a trip into the woods just outside Cleveland. He left his van at a nearby dog park and hiked deeper into the forest from there. But before he even reached his campsite, he stumbled onto something unsettling.
We're gonna bushwhack a little bit. We've been walking for about 15 minutes. I don't like that you can hear the highway, but ow. Son of... I don't think I'm gonna be able to get a fire going either. I brought everything I need to start a fire, but... Oh, this looks nice up here. I brought everything I need to start a fire, but Everything's literally soaked. This looks pretty nice up here. I think we're gonna call this home for the evening. Looks pretty dry. Well, relatively. What do you know? This looks like a tent or a tarp. That kind of sketches me out. So that's the remains of a tent and a tarp. That means somebody's camped back here before?
A shredded tent lying abandoned in the brush. It looked like someone had been forced out in a hurry. Most people would have turned back right there, but Sam pushed on. As daylight faded, he set up his own tent, lit his camping stove, and got dinner going. That's when he noticed a few unfamiliar figures wandering near his camp.
Somebody just walked by. I don't know if they had a dog or not, but they definitely didn't see me, but I could barely see them. The tent does not sit high at all. I've been sitting on my pelly case. It was while I was eating, just finishing up eating. I don't know why, I'm just spooked. I haven't been saying that, but I've been spooked since I got here. I keep feeling like somebody's watching me. And then seeing that person. I know it's a public park, but still. All right, well, darkest hours of the day. I'm pretty much settled in. Everything's organized, put away. Gonna take the pelly case inside with me. I don't know, I just have this strange feeling back here. Somebody else walked by. I don't think they saw me, but they were close enough to where they could see me. Even with the low light now in this fog, it's kind of just like a shadow creature thing. Obviously it was a person, looked like a dude, but yeah, I don't like that. So it's very eerie out here.
In the video, Sam admits that something immediately felt wrong, like he had wandered into a situation he shouldn't be part of. Any experienced outdoorsman will tell you to trust that instinct. Sam didn't.
Somebody, hang on. I don't know if they could see it or not through the tent. I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent. Somebody's out there. I don't know if they're coming this way or just walking around out there. I can't tell. Somebody's definitely walking around out there, though. Hang on. I don't want to leave the light on in case they could see in here. I think the fly is thick enough that they can't see the light, but still, I'm leaning right up against the lantern, so you can only just barely see my face. See with my phone. I don't know if you could see me better with my phone or not. Somebody's walking around out there. They're getting closer too. They're getting closer. Hang on. Hang on. I want you to be able to see as much as possible. But I'm not gonna turn on the lantern again. I have my headlamp in my pocket too. They're really close now. They're like, listen. I don't like this at all. I'm spooked. Hello? Hello?
He decided to stay the night, camera still rolling. Trouble arrived just as he was trying to fall asleep. Footsteps approached his tent, slow and deliberate. Someone was standing just outside.
I'm gonna try and just be silent. Hang on. They're walking around outside in circles. Hello? Hello? Alright, I don't like this. Hello? Hello? They're touching my tent. Stop. They're right outside the tent. Hello? I'm in here. Hello? 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 Alright, I'm getting the f*** out of here. Hello? Hello? I don't know what the f*** this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on. Hello? Okay, they're walking away now. What do you want? What do you want? I have a knife. Where's my knife? They're f***ing with me. They're f***ing with me here. Holy crap, get away, what do you want? Hello, I can't see you. Hello? All right, I'm getting out of here. We're getting the hell out of here. Hello? What do you want? Say something, I see you.
Sam called out. Once, twice, again. No reply. After several tries, the person finally revealed their presence by circling the tent. Sam's voice started to shake as the stranger began touching the tent fabric, brushing against it without saying a word. He warned that he had a knife and told them he was leaving. They backed off for a moment, but the uneasy silence returned.
All right, I'm spooked. I don't like this. Get my headlamp on and we're getting out of here right now. They're just standing there. They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone! They went over that way. I can't see them now. I know you're there. I see you. They collapsed my tent on me and pulled the fly off while I was still in there. It smells like someone's smoking a cigarette too. I smell your cigarette. I smell your cigarette. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I have a knife. I smell your cigarette. All right, I'm officially like tweaking now. I'm like, all right, we're just gonna get out of here. We're just gonna get out of here. I'll come back for this crap later. Do I have my phone? I'm gonna call 911 if you come near me. Should I just call the police now or do I just go? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm scared to go in any direction. I don't know where to go. I'm scared to go in any direction. I smell your cigarette. Is the camera on? The camera's on. I'm recording all of this. All right, they're moving again. I don't know, I'm getting out of here. We're going. I'll come back for this some other time. All right, let's get the hell out of here.
When Sam tried to unzip his tent to get out, he realized they had collapsed part of it while he was still inside. He couldn't tell where they were until he suddenly spotted them, just a few yards away, standing still in the darkness and watching him. That's when Sam decided he wasn't staying another second. He grabbed what he could and started heading back toward his van.
I'm leaving, don't follow me! I don't know where to go. I don't know which way to get out of here. I smell your cigarette, I can hear you! I hear you! Alright, I don't know which way to go. How the hell do I get out of here? Alright. I don't know how to get out of here. Alright, this is how the do I get out of here? Hang on, let me see if they're... Stay away from me! They're coming behind me. I don't know what they're doing. They could just be around. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going.
But the moment he moved, so did they. He heard footsteps behind him, smelled cigarette smoke, and caught glimpses of the figures following him through the trees. Disoriented, fighting through fog, and with water splashed across his headlamp, Sam struggled to find a path out.
They're at my campsite. I see them. I see you reflecting off my tent. Leave my shit alone! All right, I'm getting out of here. You can have it. How do I? Which way? Here. Okay. Ah. One of them's following me. One of them's... Okay, here's a trail of some kind. Ah! 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 I just ate. I just ate. I'm soaked. I'm toast. Okay. Oh, they're coming. Leave me alone. Okay. Okay. I don't know where I'm going. Ow! Mother. Alright. Ow. Ow! Ow! I just ate. Ow! I'm in prickers. Okay. Ow! Mother. Ow. Ow. What the fuck? Okay. I don't see or hear anybody. Alright, this is a clearing here. I just tripped over that. Ow. Oh, my knee. My poor knee. Alright, here's a clearing. This has got to lead back to the main trail. I don't know where they are. It's all foggy up here. I got water in my headlamp. I don't know where to go. I don't see or hear anybody anymore. I hear them coming. Can't see the shadow. Here's a path. Okay, get me there. I'm recording all of this. I'm calling up police. All right, I'm back on the path. Back on the path. Okay. Okay.
Every sound behind him made it clear. He was being chased. When he glanced back, he saw the strangers scavenging through his abandoned campsite. That was enough. Sam focused on getting out alive. Eventually, after fighting through the dark woods, he found a trail and shouted that he was recording everything and contacting the police.
All right, we're getting out of here. All right, lock my doors. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm soaked. Where's my phone? Everything's muddy, disgusting. My knee, I'm soaked. I gotta go home. All right, let's drive out of here. I'll record again in a minute. We made it out though. My gear's still back there. My tent, my dry bag, sleeping pad. I don't see anybody coming or anything. I don't know what the f they're doing back there. And they were messing with my tent and throwing stuff at the tent, walking around it in circles and stuff.
He finally made it back to his van, locked himself inside, and drove home, later filming a recap of the entire ordeal. Of course, some viewers accused him of staging the whole thing. They argued no one would keep filming while sprinting for their life. But fear affects everyone differently, and Sam's panic seems very real. The most disturbing part? When Sam returned the next morning, none of his equipment had been touched, nothing stolen. Whoever those people were, they weren't there for his gear. Their motives remain completely unknown, and that's what makes the encounter so unnerving. Whatever their plan was, Sam's decision to run likely saved him from finding out. In October 2022, a solo rock climber from Japan was making his way down a steep ridge on Mount Futago in Saitama Prefecture. What started as a calm day in the mountains quickly turned into a desperate fight to stay alive. His camera shows him moving carefully down the rocky face, the drop below stretching so far that it makes your stomach twist just watching. Everything seems routine until faint, strange breathing sounds echo from somewhere above him. Moments later, a dark shape appears on the rocks overhead. Thinking it's a dog, the climber barely reacts until the truth hits him. It's not a dog at all. It's a bear, and it's charging straight at him. The climber shouts in shock as the bear closes the distance. In pure instinct, he manages to shove it back. He tries to scare it off with loud cries, but the animal keeps coming, refusing to retreat. A frantic struggle follows as he kicks and pushes, doing everything he can to hold his ground on the narrow cliffside. Finally, the bear backs off and disappears up the ridge. Shaken but still standing, the climber pulls himself to safety and waits until he's sure the danger has passed before continuing his descent. Later, when reviewing the footage, something important becomes clear. A smaller bear appears shortly after the attack. It seems he had crossed paths with a mother bear protecting her cub, explaining the fierce aggression. The climber ended up with scratched, sprained hands from striking the rocks and fending off the animal. But considering how close he came to disaster, walking away with only minor injuries was nothing short of incredible. Camper Vibe is a channel run by Emily and Louise, two friends who travel the UK in their camper van while renovating a 200-year-old stone cottage. But in early 2023, Louise decided to put the renovation tools down and take a solo trip into the wilderness. Her destination? Daring Woods, on the outskirts of Pluckley, a place widely known as the most haunted village in the UK. At first, everything felt peaceful. Louise set up her hammock, got a fire going, and cooked a simple dinner as night slowly swallowed the trees around her. But once the forest grew dark, the atmosphere changed. The usual sounds of owls and birds faded, replaced by something far more disturbing. Cries. Faint at first, high-pitched, distant, and eerily similar to children screaming.
Sounds like kids screaming. That's just a train. Is it a bird or is it kids screaming? That's a bird. That's a gunshot. I don't know if you'll be able to hear a lot of this, it's pretty distant, but it sounds like kids screaming.
Louise tried to brush it off, convincing herself it was just birds echoing strangely through the woods. But the noises didn't stop. They grew more complex, more unnatural.
Normal birds and stuff and planes, there's a lot of planes. There's like this weird... Well, I don't really know how to describe it, but I'm tired, so I'm going to let this burn out in a bit, sit here and enjoy a fire for a little while and then, head to bed. The hammock's really comfy, thank God, so I should sleep well, I would think.
Eventually, uneasy and exhausted, Louise crawled into her tent for the night. But around 2 a.m., everything escalated. Between the wind, the rain, the occasional plane overhead, she suddenly heard footsteps. Slow, deliberate footsteps approaching her tent, crunching through the leaves and stopping just outside. Silence. Then more steps, closer, circling her campsite. Louise stayed completely still, terrified that turning on her light would reveal her presence to whoever, or whatever, was out there. The footsteps faded, then returned again. This continued for hours, long past the point any animal would lose interest. Whoever it was, they weren't leaving.
What the fuck was that? I don't want to turn the light on because I'm pretty convinced there's been a person or persons. What the fuck? I've never wanted the morning to come as much as I do right now.
Sometime later, Louise finally worked up the courage to peek out of her tent. Her hands shaking, she unzipped it just enough to see. Nothing, no movement, no shadow.
What the fuck is going on?
But the sudden commotion was enough to startle the nearby crows awake, sending them scattering through the trees. By the time dawn crept in, Louise looked drained, pale, shaken, and exhausted. In her vlog, even in daylight, her voice trembled as she admitted she could still swear she heard footsteps outside her tent. Then she realized something chilling. She had accidentally left a hatchet outside the tent all night. If someone had bad intentions, she had practically handed them a weapon.
I left my axe out. Now, if there had been an axe murderer wandering around, I've literally handed him his weapon of choice.
Louise made it home safely, but the footsteps remain a mystery. She maintains she doesn't believe in ghosts yet. She still can't explain who or what spent the entire night pacing around her camp in the dead of night. A night she now calls the scariest of her life. One winter night, Gary Reed stepped into the deep snow behind his property, carrying only his camera and a parabolic microphone. He didn't even bring a flashlight. Moments earlier, his neighbor had reported hearing terrifying screams echoing through the woods, and Gary wanted to find out what was going on. It all began when his neighbor, Tom, texted him about a backyard fire. Gary walked onto his deck to snap a quick picture and politely turned down the invite. That's when he heard it, high-pitched chilling screams cutting through the cold night air. At first, he assumed it must be Tom's kids playing or arguing outside. But then another message came through from Tom. He had heard the screams too, and he was absolutely sure of one thing. They weren't coyotes. With that, Gary grabbed his recording gear and stepped into the darkness, following the sound into the snow-covered woods.
I found one of our old skidoo trails right here, so it's kind of packed. I can walk here. So there's the fire over at Tom's place. They're pretty loud over there, so I don't know if that's going to pollute my recordings. If this thing starts up again, you'll know it was loud. I could hear it from the deck. It was like kids screaming and playing. Or fighting. I thought maybe they were fighting too. So I'm not sure what this is. It could be an animal. But I would sure love to get a recording tonight. There goes the neighbor's dog. Last time the screaming was happening, the dog was barking as well. I've got the parabolic dish turned on. So it's been 20 minutes. I haven't heard anything. It's been quite a while. I haven't heard the dog anymore. I'm 300 yards behind Tom's house where they're having the fire right now. I've just been sitting here quietly. There goes the dog again now. You don't think the parabolic dish is heavy and this camera is heavy until you hold it for about 10 minutes. My arms were like rubber. I had to set them both down. It's frustrating. I can't believe I heard that from my deck. I just thought because they were having the fire that the kids were outside playing or fighting. I should have known better. I gotta turn the dish back on. I can hear whistling. I can't tell where it's coming from. I can hear it right now.
Only later, while reviewing the footage at home, did things take an even stranger turn. Half of his video files were missing, not corrupted, not damaged, just gone. Entire clips had vanished from the camcorder with no explanation. In all his years of filming, he had never seen his equipment fail like this. Between the eerie screaming in the trees, the mysterious disappearance of his footage, and the sudden reappearance of gear he thought he'd lost, something in those woods wasn't adding up. And to this day, no one can explain what was calling out from the darkness that cold winter night. In September of 2024, Megan Page set out on a simple camping trip in the woods near her home, a chance to escape the chaos happening at her father's house and clear her mind. But the peace she hoped to find was quickly shattered.
I miss the psychiatric hospital. And I think I've been out for 5 days. It was safe there. When I got home from the psychiatric facility, there were cockroaches in my bed. Can you believe that? So that's why I'm in Humboldt. That's why I'm back in Humboldt. I'm staying at my dad's again, and it's really bad. Every day we've been scream fighting. And then I come to the woods for like 4 hours and decompress.
As Megan sat filming, updating her viewers about everything going on in her life, she suddenly heard footsteps approaching from behind her. Slow, uneven, getting closer.
And then I go back home, and then he acts like nothing happens. Like a true narcissist. Like the true narcissist he is. Okay, well, you scared me.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
When she turned, a man emerged from the trees. He claimed he didn't want to hurt her, but the broken bottle clutched in his hand told a different story. His words were slurred, his behavior unpredictable, and his eyes unfocused. The kind of erratic, unstable presence that sends every instinct into panic.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That was pretty hard. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm
You're
sorry.
probably more dangerous than me. You're probably more evil than me. Look at the dark hair you're saying. You're bomb. Little stoner.
Okay, that was terrifying.
Standing alone in the woods with no one around to help her, Megan tried to stay calm. She kept recording, speaking gently, trying to de-escalate the situation.
What the fuck? I'm shaking. That was scary. Thought I was just about to get killed. He said that I looked evil. I can't even enjoy the woods because of tweakers. Like, look how beautiful it is here. I love Humboldt, but the tweakers, he was coming right at me. And so obviously I'm gonna be scared. And then he's like, "You're probably more scary than me. Your dark hair and your veins."
When Megan posted the footage online, her viewers were shaken. The comments filled with warnings and fear. One viewer summed up what everyone was thinking. "You were lucky, Megan. I'm sure he wanted to jump you. But then he noticed you were recording and probably thought you were live streaming. That might have saved your life." What was meant to be an escape turned into one of Megan's most terrifying experiences. A reminder that in the wilderness, sometimes the scariest thing you can encounter is another person. On April 13th, 2025, a UK camping YouTuber returned to the hills after a long break from the outdoors. With only his loyal dog, Fendi, by his side, he headed deep into the moorlands looking for calm, fresh air, and a reset. The plan was simple: hike into the remains of an old reservoir settlement, explore the ruins, and enjoy a peaceful night away from everything. But by the end of the trip, that search for solitude would be overshadowed by something else. A persistent, unsettling sense that he wasn't as alone as he thought.
As you can see, Fendi's enjoying herself. He's such an idiot. How long is it since I last did a video? A couple of months, isn't it? Now I just really just need to get out and get away from it all. And I really hope that nothing weird happens tonight, because I just need to be out in a bit of solace. Come on, mate, you can do it. Come here, mate, you got turd hanging out your ass. And as you can see, absolutely glorious out. But I've waited until 6 o'clock at night to come out, because obviously it's too warm for Fendi. It's been about 20 degrees Celsius today, -1 tonight. Nuts, isn't it? Hey up, what's this? Someone's little shelter. There's loads of these structures up here. They were all built by navvies when they were building the reservoirs. There's reservoirs all over here, dotted about everywhere. Look, this is where one of them's been mined out, or that might have even been a dwelling there. Another dwelling there. All these, that would have been a dwelling there. All these walls here, look, dry stone walls. All little villages and that dotted about up here up on moors. Absolutely love it up here.
As daylight faded, he pitched his tent beside one of the crumbling stone structures, choosing the spot for its perfect view of both sunset and sunrise. It should have been the ideal campsite. Instead, things started going wrong almost immediately. His sleeping mat deflated soon after setup. He reinflated it, checked the valve, tried again, still leaking. With no spare gear and unable to hike out after drinking, he resigned himself to a freezing night on a thin foil emergency blanket. Temperatures were set to fall well below zero. Later that evening, he and Fendi wandered through more of the abandoned settlement. The ruins, once home to reservoir workers long gone, stood silent under the night sky. While filming a short segment about the site's history, he noticed signs that someone had been there recently. Scorched earth, broken pallets, and the remains of a campfire. Then something caught his attention.
Just have to have a campfire, wouldn't you, with your mates, huddled up together to keep warm. Look at the night sky as well. Don't know if you'll be able to see it. Oh, stars are out tonight. Of course they are, me and Fendi are out. We're the stars, aren't we? Looks like somebody else has been up here having a bit of a fire, dragging pallets and stuff up. Hey up, little bird, look there. Can you see it? Just on top of the wall. There. Alright mate. I'm gonna see if I can get my head down for a bit on this crappy mat. If anything happens then I'll let you know. Hello? Hello? Oh, you that duck then? Pretty sure he had some footsteps, but it's probably a bird, isn't it? No sheep about, I can't see any eyes anyway. Oh, look how pretty it is. Alright mate, yeah, I can hear birds over there.
A distant motion or a faint sound. He wasn't sure. He dismissed it as wildlife, but the feeling it stirred didn't fade. There were no other campers for miles, no roads, no lights. Back at camp, he tried settling in, but Fendi wouldn't rest. She kept pawing at the tent fabric, staring at a single point on the wall, as if something outside had locked her attention. Each time he checked, the darkness was empty. No animals, no movement, no glowing eyes. Only the low hum of wind turbines rolling across the hills. As the night wore on, the wind picked up, blowing leaves into the tent and rattling the entrance flap. Sleep became impossible. He kept waking, checking his gear, adjusting the emergency blanket, and trying to calm Fendi. But the uneasy feeling never really left. Nothing dramatic happened. No screams, no footsteps, no shadows rushing past. Just that subtle, heavy wrongness that makes the hair on your arms rise for no clear reason. Maybe it was just wildlife. Maybe the ruins, with their long history of isolation and hardship, held on to more than old stones and broken walls. Maybe it was all in his head. But if you were camping beside centuries-old ruins, and your dog kept reacting to something you couldn't see, would you stay the night? And have you ever felt watched when you knew no one else was around? James runs the YouTube channel Under the Weather, and he's built a reputation for something most people would never dare attempt: spending nights completely alone in some of the UK's creepiest forests. He's calm, experienced, and rarely rattled. But one night, deep inside a place locals call Devil's Wood, even James found himself shaken.
Well, welcome back to Under the Weather, live from the Devil's Wood. Now I'm losing daylight and I'm in a very precarious place, so I need to try and get some wood, and for a fire. But as you can see, there's a lot of wetness around. I'm camped right next to a river. Tent's already up because, as I said, losing daylight. Let's show you the wee tent here. The only flat bit of ground is like this little strip here, which runs along this riverbed right in the middle of the Devil's Wood. Let's see if we can get some lights on the go. Yeah. I mean, if you look up, still daylight outside. Right, let's see if we can get some fire going.
As daylight faded, James rushed to get his camp set up beside a quiet stream. He gathered sticks for a fire, pitched his tent, and began preparing a simple dinner. It should have been a peaceful night. Then the noise started. At first, it sounded like something small, maybe an animal digging through the underbrush or a stone shifting in the water. Woods are full of sounds that can play tricks on your nerves when you're alone, but this sound changed.
A bit, hang on. Ow. Hang on. There will be little animals scratching around, you know, but and also it's when you're camping right next to a river, stream, whatever it is, you'll hear rocks going through the night, and your brain will tell you that's someone coming to get you, you know, but it's literally rocks just kind of being pushed down by the weight of the water. So I think, what the hell? Hang on, turn this. I think I might just turn this. Hello, is there? Anybody there? Hello?
It became slower, more deliberate, like something making the noise on purpose. James froze. A cold, prickling feeling crawled up the back of his neck. Trying to shake it off, he called out into the darkness, half expecting his own voice to break the tension. Nothing answered, just the soft pop of his fire and the gentle rustle of trees swaying in the wind.
Hello? Hello? Oof. What was that? Right.
Then he swept his flashlight across the forest. And that's when he saw it. Between two trees, partly hidden in the shadows, stood a figure wearing red, completely still, completely silent, watching him. James stopped breathing, but when he flicked the light back again, the figure was gone.
Hello? Oh, that's again. I don't think I like the look of that thing, whatever that was. God save me. Right, let's see if we can get across the river without falling in. Oh God.
Terrified but unable to ignore what he had just seen, James left the safety of his camp and moved cautiously into the trees, hoping and dreading that he'd get another glimpse. He didn't. The woods swallowed whatever had been standing there. Eventually, James returned to camp, though he barely slept. Every rustle, every shift of the wind felt like eyes on him. When dawn finally arrived, he packed as fast as he could and got out of Devil's Wood. But the image stayed with him, that silent figure in red, watching from the trees. Was it a lost hiker? A trick of the light? Or one of the countless spirits rumored to haunt Devil's Wood? James never found out. And honestly, he's just glad it never came any closer. On March 24th, 2024, the YouTube channel Into the Void, well known for diving into paranormal mysteries and unexplained encounters, uploaded a video that left thousands of viewers deeply unsettled. The channel has explored haunted buildings, cryptid hotspots, and places with eerie histories. But this investigation took a different turn. Instead of an abandoned house or a forest trail, the host set his sights on something far more overlooked: storm drains. The video begins with him sitting inside his car on the edge of a quiet neighborhood, explaining his plan to explore a drainage tunnel hidden beneath the streets. These echoing, claustrophobic tunnels are easy to forget about, but their isolation makes them the perfect backdrop for the strange and unexplainable. Armed with only a flashlight, a camera, and a determination that many viewers later called reckless, he descended into the drain. From the start, the atmosphere was oppressive. Water dripped steadily from the walls. Darkness swallowed everything beyond the thin beam of his light. And with every step deeper, the sense of isolation grew heavier. As the tunnel narrowed, turning back became more difficult. That's when something shifted.
Close this off a little bit. I'm really not looking forward to this. I don't know what that was. I need to take a breather. What the fuck? Nope. I'm dipping out. Fuck this shit. I don't know what that is. Oh fuck.
A piercing screech ripped through the tunnel, metallic, warped, and echoing from somewhere deeper inside. It wasn't an animal. It wasn't anything natural. It sounded mechanical, distorted, almost digital. Before he could react, a second shriek followed, this one closer, louder, and unmistakably directed toward him. Panic hit instantly. He turned and sprinted back the way he'd come. The tight tunnel seemed to close in around him as water splashed under his feet, and the echoes of the screeches chased after him. His flashlight beam jerked wildly across the walls as he ran, desperate just to reach open air. Finally, he burst out of the tunnel and into daylight, physically unharmed but visibly shaken. Trying to explain what he heard, he struggled. The sounds didn't match any known animal, person, or machine. They were too sharp, too unnatural. And those figures, too vague to identify, yet too consistent to dismiss as shadows. The comment section exploded with theories. Some insisted it was a cryptid, maybe the rake, maybe a wendigo, maybe something no one has a name for yet. Others suggested a squatter using sound devices to scare people away. But none of those explanations accounted for the metallic, digital screeching or the overwhelming sensation of being watched. So, what was lurking in that storm drain? A cryptid hidden beneath the city? A person? Or something else entirely? Whatever the truth is, the video ends with a chilling reminder. Sometimes the darkest things don't hide in forests or mountains. Sometimes they hide right beneath our feet. In this video, TikToker Tropical Russian sets out for what she thought would be a peaceful night alone in the woods. But that calm doesn't last.
That boy was mine, too young to know what love was. But we were learning on a sweet buzz. There's never nothing like the first time. It's always gonna taste like watermelon moonshine. What the fuck?
Before long, her evening is shattered by something truly terrifying. It starts with distant pops, gunshots echoing through the trees. At first, she thinks it might just be hunters somewhere far off, but then the shots get closer.
Van doors.
Close enough that debris begins snapping off branches around her campsite. At that point, one thing becomes clear. These shots aren't random. Someone out there might actually be aiming at her. Some viewers later suggested the shots could have been warnings. Property owners firing intentionally to scare off trespassers, whether she knew she was on private land or not. But nothing about the situation felt controlled. Nothing felt safe. Desperate, tropical Russian yelled into the darkness, warning whoever was out there that she could hear them, that she wasn't afraid. And just like that, the shots stopped. Whether her voice scared them off, or whether whoever was lurking in the woods simply decided they'd had enough, no one knows. The shooter never revealed themselves. No footsteps, no voices, no explanation. To this day, the person firing those rounds remains a complete mystery, leaving only one terrifying question behind. Were they trying to warn her, or were they trying to hit her? Owen, the creator behind Exploring with Owen, has built a strong following, despite being only 18. His channel is known for late-night explorations, eerie locations, and the occasional guest, though he usually prefers going solo. But on November 9th, 2024, he took on what might be his most intense challenge yet, spending an entire night alone in the woods near his home, right as early winter brought freezing temperatures. Loaded with camping gear and supplies, Owen stepped into the forest and almost immediately realized this wasn't going to be an ordinary trip.
I just got dropped off with all my stuff, but I was walking just barely with my stuff and I heard a giant crash over there, over in that direction. It literally sounded like a tree falling over. I don't know what that was. I just really hope there's not people in this forest, because that actually scared me so.
Not even 5 minutes into his walk, something large crashed through the trees nearby. His first sign that the night ahead would be anything but peaceful. After about half an hour of hiking, he found a spot that would work for camp.
Alright, we are now inside the tent, fully away from the mosquitoes. As you can see, I brought blankets, I brought a pillow. Over in this corner we have some miscellaneous stuff like GoPro, camera bag. I have some extra clothing for later when it gets cold. And we have a can opener for my beans. Now guys, I'm probably gonna inflate my air mattress and set up my bed. I just heard sticks now. I'm not even kidding. Hoping that's just the wind. Alright guys, the air mattress just got done inflating, but I think the pump is low on batteries because as you can see, it's really squishy still. But once I lay down and my weight disperses, it's... Is that a gunshot? But once I lay down and my weight disperses, it's... Is that a gunshot? I literally think I just heard a gunshot. I don't know if that picked up on camera.
But as he settled in, the woods responded with new warnings. A sharp twig snapped somewhere outside his shelter. Moments later, a loud crack, something like a gunshot, echoed from far off in the darkness. The camera didn't pick it up, but Owen's reaction made it clear how much it shook him, especially with this being his first solo overnight. As night took over, he tried to calm his nerves. He ate, watched a few videos on his phone, and eventually stopped filming to try to sleep. Then, around 2 a.m., the real fear set in.
Guys, I just woke up. It's like 2 a.m. and I just heard footsteps outside of the tent. Literally woke me up. It was so loud. They went away though. I don't know. I feel like I kind of want to go out and check, but I think we're gonna go out and check. I might just walk around and look at the area. It is so dark out. Look at this, guys. I can't even see a thing on camera. It's so dark. Let me see if my phone flashlight's better. I think that's a little better. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely better. I'm just gonna use my phone flashlight. You know what? I'll use both. Here's my bike. The footsteps came from like over here. They sounded like it was right here. My tent is right there.
Alone in a pitch-black forest, Owen stepped out of his tent with a flashlight to investigate strange noises. But there was nothing. No animal, no person. Just silence and darkness pressing in on him. Trying to stay composed, he retreated back into his tent. That's when the footsteps returned, this time captured clearly on camera.
But I'll pick up the camera if anything else happens, but we'll see you guys tomorrow if not. Peace. Hello? I'm not sleeping here. I am not sleeping here. I legit forgot I was recording that. I'm shaking so bad. Look at my hand. Look at my hand. Am I still recording? Okay, I am. I literally heard footsteps come from that way and go all the way around my tent. I said hello and no response.
Slow, deliberate movements around his campsite, yet no figure ever appeared. That was the breaking point. Convinced something was out there circling him, Owen made the decision to cut the trip short and get out of the forest as fast as he could. For his first solo night in the wild, it was an experience he won't soon forget. Western Nowhere brings something rare to YouTube: raw, unpolished adventures into places most people will never step foot in. The creator travels alone, guided by a sharp eye for forgotten history and a deep love for wild, remote landscapes. In this video, he's trekking above 10,000 feet in the mountains of the southwestern United States, searching for a 1,000-year-old hunting camp hidden somewhere in a dying forest. He starts the journey confident, laying out 3 simple goals: find 2 ancient hunting camps and recover a drone he was forced to land earlier due to strong winds. Surrounded by towering pines, he notes how heavy branches could easily fall and injure someone. The risk is there, but he pushes forward. Then the hike takes a strange turn. He begins hearing something he can't explain. A haunting, almost musical wail drifting through the forest. It doesn't happen just once. It repeats. It moves.
Do you hear that? What is that singing sound? It's like coming in front of me and behind me.
One moment it's ahead of him, the next it's behind, then off to the side. He tries to rationalize it. Maybe elk calls, maybe wind slipping through the trees. But the sound keeps returning with the same eerie tone, never changing. It's unsettling, like the forest is singing to him from every direction. As he searches for his drone, He steadies himself on a branch that looks ready to give way.
Is that the wind blowing through the trees? Oh, it's like 4 or 5 people wailing. Tell me you hear that. I hope my mic is picking that up.
Another small moment of tension stacked on top of the strange sounds. None of it is enough to turn him back, but the forest definitely feels off. Even he admits that with noises like this, it's easy to understand why some people believe in Bigfoot, even though he's pretty sure that's not the case. Eventually, he spots a break in the trees and continues his search. After weaving through thick brush and fallen limbs, he finally finds his drone. With that task done, he heads toward his second goal.
See, right there is a strong wind gust, and that's when it should coincide, but I didn't hear it. And I've sat through a few wind gusts, and I don't hear it anymore. At all wind speeds, at all wind speeds, at all wind speeds, at all wind speeds, I don't know if the mic picked that up, but I could see why people believe in Bigfoot. There's some weird sounds out here. I don't believe it's Bigfoot. I'm just trying to get to the mystery of it as to why they all make the same sound. I could see a clearing through the trees. I gotta get to my drone. I've been trying to solve this mystery of the singing trees. Sniff out that drone. Now it looked like there was a cow trail that cut through here, and I was trying to land it near that cow trail, but the signal cut out, so I don't know. Oh! Found it. The battery died, but it's safe. So now I could return to the mission at hand. And let me explain a little bit more about this place. All right, so based on what I know, the site that I'm looking for should be along this ridgeline.
Locating a historic campsite once used by an isolated indigenous group, the hike becomes tougher as he drops downhill and works around tree stumps and broken branches. But when he reaches the edge of a lava flow, an important marker on his map, everything changes. Suddenly, the trip feels less like a spooky walk in the woods and more like stepping directly into forgotten history.
Starting to see the first rocks. There's no way. I just got to the edge of the lava flow, and clearly there's been a wall built here. I can't believe it. Like, what are the odds that I would find this quick? Right there is a wall, and it seems on this side is a wall as well. Now, how high that stood, I don't know. I could guess maybe high enough for someone to build a roof over. Maybe. But that's clearly brought in by humans. And look, here's this white rock that's in the mix. Is this?
At the edge of the rock field, he spots what looks like an old stone wall, then another. He imagines how the rocks could have supported a roof long ago. Someone clearly built this place with purpose. Even a white stone stands out among the darker ones. Through all of this, that strange wailing continues. Sometimes distant, sometimes close, but always there, echoing across the trees, refusing to fade. So, what was making that sound? Wind slipping through dead branches, echoes bouncing off the canyon walls, other hikers, or something else entirely, something the forest has held onto for centuries. Whatever the answer, Western Nowhere walked away with more questions than he started with. Davey, from the channel Davey's Dash, is no stranger to isolation. His whole channel revolves around pure wilderness camping. No tent, no shelter, nothing between him and the night but a sleeping bag and the open sky. But on this trip, nature wasn't the only thing watching him. After a long hike, Davey settled beside a quiet river, letting the sound of flowing water lull him to sleep. It was supposed to be a peaceful night under the stars. Instead, everything shattered around midnight.
This isn't a national park, this isn't a provincial park, this is Crown Land camping, man, and I am just gonna get out of these shoes, slide into my bag. This is me for the night. And yeah, sun's going down. I've just been sitting here just listening to the trickle of the water, listening to the wildlife. Nobody's been up and down the trail for 2 hours now, which is beautiful. I'm glad to see that people are out and, you know, enjoying nature and doing all that stuff. But when it comes to this kind of camping, it's nice when they all just stay home.
It's not that fucking difficult to respect other people, is it? So start showing some fucking respect if you want respect. You need my light to help you get out of here?
No.
No? You know how to get out?
Would you mind just giving me a few minutes? I'm still in my sleeping bag.
Why are you in your sleeping bag?
Davey woke to screaming, raw, violent screaming ripping through the dark. When his eyes snapped open, he realized the noise wasn't far away. It was right behind him. Standing no more than 10 feet from where Davey lay completely exposed in his sleeping bag was a stranger, a shadowy figure illuminated just enough by the moonlight to reveal what he was holding. 2 black iron pipes.
Do you think they're gonna feel comfortable falling asleep in the middle of the night with a fucking stranger 20 feet away? Do you honestly think that? The answer is no! And you wouldn't feel comfortable either, would you?
Alright,
no, you wouldn't. Fair enough. Fair enough.
My apologies.
That's fair enough, mate.
My apologies. I will push on.
I already got a hold of fucking RCMP and told them to fucking get over here and deal with their fucking shit, because I'm sick of this fucking bullshit.
Thick, heavy gas line pipes clutched like improvised weapons, one in each hand. Davey couldn't run. He couldn't fight. All he could do was lie there, frozen, as the stranger paced and muttered to himself, unpredictable, unstable, and inches away from turning violent. After what felt like an eternity, the man finally drifted off into the darkness.
Damn fucking steel pipes come fucking walking into my camp about 10 feet away from me while I was sound asleep. Well, I guess we know who needs his fucking teeth knocked down his fucking throat now, doesn't he? But that will be a battle for another day. That is not our concern tonight. Our concern tonight is being somewhere safe and getting some kip. So, alright, well, I guess we're shoving off. But that motherfucker had better fucking watch the fuck out, because all I should do is just got up and fucking throttle him. But again, he had 2 steel pipes in his hand 10 feet away from where I was sleeping. And yeah, that's not gonna work for me right now, so let's just fucking go.
Davey immediately contacted the RCMP, but deep in the wilderness, help wasn't coming anytime soon. He had to make a choice: stay where the stranger knew he was lying helpless, or leave everything behind and escape into the night. He chose to run. But in the chaos, one wrong turn led Davy straight to something even more unsettling. A discovery deeper in the forest that made his blood run cold. Whatever he saw confirmed one thing. This man wasn't just wandering the woods. He had a purpose. Davy didn't stay to find out more. With his heart racing, he pushed farther into the wilderness, putting as much distance as possible between himself and the riverbank. Eventually, he stopped, found a new spot, and forced himself to wait for sunrise.
Yeah, anyways, sorry. Being moved on by a homeless guy. I'll tell you why. I am fucking pissed about it. But, here's the thing. You can't sleep when somebody is 10 feet away from you with 2 steel pipes ready to knock you out while you're sleeping. So I was pretty lucky that I woke up on that one. It took a little while to get to the camera because obviously my safety was paramount. And yeah. But instead of confronting the situation at this point, still cowboy camping, but now so that incident took place at like 11 o'clock, quarter to 11, and it is now, I don't know what you can see here, almost midnight. So it's time to get a few hours of sleep. Oh, okay.
When daylight finally returned, Davy was still alive, shaken, exhausted, but unharmed. He had narrowly escaped a potentially deadly encounter, and it served as a chilling reminder. Out in the wild, the most dangerous creature isn't always an animal. Sometimes, it's another person. Alyssa is a solo traveler from the US who runs a YouTube channel called Alyssa Vanilla, where she documents her car camping adventures across America. Her videos are like a personal diary, capturing both the joys and the struggles of life on the road as she explores some of the most scenic places in the country. In October 2022, she set up her camera expecting to film a simple, peaceful vlog from a quiet desert campsite. But what started as a normal day in her nomadic routine quickly took a much darker turn.
Oh. I am currently camping in the desert outside of Tucson on some BLM land because I've been really excited to go to Quartzsite all year. I'm really excited to spend the winter there. But right now it's pretty much 100 degrees. In fact, next week it's going to be over 100 degrees every day there. And I'm just testing to see if I can handle it. Currently I think it's like 96 degrees and I'm parked, as you can kind of see by the shadow, in front of a tree.
The video begins calm and ordinary. Alyssa walks her viewers through her desert setup, chatting casually about her day and the chores she planned to tackle. The wide open desert around her feels serene, isolated in a way that seems calming, not dangerous. That changes fast.
Hi.
You doing okay?
Yes, I am.
I'm just kind of checking, making sure everybody's got enough water and...
Oh, okay. Are you a ranger or?
No, I just live close.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of come out and check, make sure, because I know there's a lot of people that come out here that don't have a lot.
I'm fine right now. I don't know if I'll stay here, but I just wanted to check it out and see. It's pretty hot though.
Do you do this, like, is this what you do for a living? Do you like travel around or what?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah?
Yep.
So how long have you been doing this for?
I've been in the van for like almost a year, last November, so getting close. But I was traveling around in my car since 2020, so it's been a while.
So you've been a nomad for a while.
Yeah, so I'm used to it.
And you're enjoying it, I suppose.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, well, just so you know, so you're not worried, I drive by, when I'm here, I actually work in Colorado. I live here, like a mile and a half from here.
Okay.
And so I kind of drive through when I'm here, just checking on people, making sure they got water, got what they need.
Cool.
So if you do stay, I'll see you again, but that's all I'm doing.
Right.
Nothing spooky.
Okay.
While cleaning her van, the microphone suddenly picks up the rumble of an approaching vehicle. A moment later, a man's voice enters the frame, though he stays just out of sight. He starts asking Alyssa personal questions, pretending he's simply checking on her.
I had shit stolen from my house 2 years ago. So 2 years ago I started doing that. I started making myself open to people that were out here, giving them my name so they knew who I was, so that they saw my face, and you know what? It's worked for me. Nobody steals shit from my house anymore.
And what is your name?
Johnny. If you need water, I have a hose outside that runs all the time. You're willing to stop there, fill your water jugs, whatever you need. And those that I get to know well enough that I trust, they're welcome to actually come in and use the shower a couple times a week. I'm not home. My wife is. My children are. So if you need a shower, you're welcome to, come by. Probably would work better, since you're a female, it would probably work better if you came by while I was there a couple of times. Just so my wife gets to know you, so she doesn't think there's something stupid going on.
Right.
But, if you need a shower or something, that's not a problem. But, if you want to stop by, it's not a problem.
Okay, well, thank you.
Alright. I'll let you have your evening.
All right, enjoy your rounds.
Then he brings up a story about his house being broken into and, out of nowhere, invites her to come to his place to use his shower. After that, he drives off on his ATV. Some viewers might dismiss this as a local trying to be friendly, but Alyssa's body language tells a very different story. She's alone, in the middle of the desert, with a strange man who now knows she's traveling completely by herself. The tension is immediate, and it only gets worse.
Just about to start talking about how the good thing about being out here at this time of year that there's no one else out here. As you can see, there's no RVs in the background or anything. But as I was filming, I heard an ATV approaching, and it was getting closer and closer, and I realized I was definitely coming to me because I'm kind of in a spot. It's not on a main road out here in the dirt. So sure enough, a guy on an ATV comes and stops by and is just talking to me about, he says that he makes rounds out here and makes sure everybody has water, I guess checks on people because he lives out here.
As she explains to her audience why she picked such an isolated location to avoid people, multiple male voices suddenly start echoing in the distance. This is when things get truly unsettling.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
So, you have a guy
Uh-huh.
on the mountain up there that is watching you with binoculars.
Okay, well, that's unnerving. Well, I guess I won't be staying.
Well, it's not that you can't stay. Just, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
The other side of the mountain is safer.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
He's driving a older Dodge pickup. And he told me he comes out here and offers water
Uh-huh.
to people. But I I would stay away from him. He told me he parks up there and looks around to see who might need water, who might need this, who might need that. And I was like, I turned and looked and went, well, her fucking camper is right in the open.
Yeah. So did you catch him watching me, or did he just tell you that he was watching me?
When I pulled up, he had his field glasses up, looking this direction, and I was like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking to see if there's anybody that needs water. So anyway, he's, you see that white truck? Underneath the tree?
I'm right in the tree view, so...
Alright, come out here and I'll show you. Just so you know.
Yeah, it's also just odd that there's not really anybody out here.
Get a good description of that truck.
It was a white truck.
It's white and burgundy. Honestly, I'd move to the other side.
So, I mean, I did want to stay because it's nice out here and it's quiet, but if there's somebody watching me, then obviously I don't think I should stay out here at all.
Well, that's fine. That's
A few minutes later, the man reappears on his ATV. This time, he claims he spotted another man on a nearby hill watching Alyssa through binoculars. It sounds like a warning, but something about it feels wrong. His ATV is parked in front of her van, blocking her exit path. And then he suggests Alyssa hop on his ATV so he can take her to go see this mysterious stranger. That would pull her away from the only safe place she has, her van. Alyssa listens to her instincts and refuses. She calmly tells him she'll be leaving soon, but the behavior doesn't stop.
That's really sucks. It was really nice out here, but... Well, at least I got to put my laundry away. It's always easier to do housekeeping out in the open rather than in the city somewhere. So just finishing up my laundry and then I'll probably have to leave, but that's okay. Do you need anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Drove as far as I could away from the desert BLM land. So the guy that I was talking about earlier, the one who stopped to see if I need water, came back. The thing is, after his first visit, I was not going to stay at the BLM land because I was just sensing some red flags, and maybe it's just me being paranoid, but there are a lot of people who would love to take advantage of someone like me, someone who's young, by themselves, living in a vehicle out in the middle of nowhere by themselves. So I just went with my instinct and I was gonna leave because he said that he drives around seeing if anyone needs water, but he had no water with him. He was on an ATV. So that was weird. And then something else that gets me with people is over-explaining. So when I, asked him if he was a ranger and he said no, he said he does this because a few years ago someone stole stuff from his house, which has nothing to do with giving people water in the desert. So it's just weird he went on the story about, oh, like somebody has stole from me before, so okay. And I decided, I was going to do my laundry and then leave. And I was finishing my laundry and he came back. I saw his ATV turn towards me and he tells me that someone has been watching me.
As she rushes to finish her laundry and pack up, the man just sits there on his ATV staring at her, not talking, not leaving, just watching her for an unnervingly long time. Eventually, Alyssa manages to wrap up, get into her van, and drive away to safety. In the final part of the video, she reflects on what happened. She admits she was never actually scared of the so-called stranger with binoculars. In fact, she doubts he ever existed. Her theory, and her viewers agreed, is that the story was a tactic, a way to lure her away from her vehicle and isolate her somewhere out of sight. Commenters pointed out the red flags she noticed in real time, especially the man's chilling question. Would someone notice if you went missing? Whatever his intentions were that day, Alyssa's decision to trust her instincts and stay with her van likely saved her from something far worse.